What's going on, Colton Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today I want to talk a little bit about free agency. I'm currently going through a lot of combine stuff. I have 6 tabs open right now just over combine stuff. I'm looking over everything, starting to go through the names. We're going to start talking about the draft very soon. Free agency is coming up, and there's some names here, some names that have come available, right? We did all the videos about the different positions. Well, other names are being told, hey, you can seek a trade. Hey, we're going to let this guy go in free agency and let him do something else. And again, a lot of these guys are, hey, getting permission to get to have trades. Actually, the list that we're looking at specifically are guys that were granted permission to seek trades, right? And this list has grown. I'm going to continue to look through everything that I have here and all the different bookmarks and the notes that I have to try to make sure we hit all of them. But just it's interesting. Are we going to make any trades? Good chance we don't. I think we only have one pick per round. I don't think we have a whole lot of extra picks. What will we get in compensation or compensatory picks? Who knows? So when you look at it, like we don't really have that much in terms of trade value. So how much is this likely? Who knows? But Deebo Samuel just went for like a 5th round pick. So anything's possible. So looking at the players that are available, linebacker Harold Landry from the Tennessee Titans has been given permission to seek a trade. Very good linebacker, be an interesting option, just like Jermaine Pratt. Right, you have these older veteran players who are still really good players in the NFL. Harold Landry fits that bill. Jonathan Allen, it'll be interesting to see what's his value for a defensive tackle. Obviously, we have Grove and Buck. So will we go and spend draft capital on another aging defensive tackle? I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with. Jonathan Allen, been one of my favorite players for a long time. Real low-key kind of player because Washington has been bad. He stayed on a bad team, was loyal. He made his money, and now he's in a situation where he's getting older. He's a dominant player. Hey, let me go somewhere where I can try to win a ring, somewhere where I can really make a difference. And it feels like Jonathan Allen, like I could see the Eagles messing around and going to get Myles Garrett and then finding a way to trade Jordan Davis and some draft capital to Washington for Jonathan Allen and somehow getting Jonathan Allen and Myles Garrett on that defensive line to get like it just feels like the Eagles are the team that's going to do it. Will Washington do that in the same division? Highly unlikely, but we'll see exactly what happens there. Then of course, Cooper Kupp. Deebo Samuel was on this list. He obviously gets traded to the Commanders, but Cooper Kupp still available, at least available to go seek a trade. He may end up going back with the Rams because Matt Stafford did. Maybe that's something he'll restructure and go back, or Matt Stafford restructured, so maybe they can keep Cooper Kupp. We'll see exactly how that pans out. But a couple of good players there. You also have Jair Alexander, which is a very interesting name. Now, I know a couple of Packers fans and was actually just talking to one last night and mentioned a trade. There was a hypothetical trade. And, what if the Colts were to trade for Jair Alexander? It was like for a 4th and a 7th, I think it was, for Jair Alexander. That would be okay. Because Jair Alexander, the one thing with him, he's a great football player. He can't stay on the field enough, right? When you look at the free agent options, like, do you want to pay Jair Alexander the money to maybe not be on the field, or do you want to go after people who have better availability, are going to cost the same, maybe a little more? But then you can also still play Jalen Jones, who's looked just fine. Like people I like Jalen Jones was getting cooked. Jalen Jones, like if we didn't have Jalen Jones, we would have been in a bad spot in 2024. Like even worse, we would have been literally the worst defense all of 2024 without Jalen Jones. So thank goodness for him, and I want to see him continue to get on the field. So I'd really just like us to get one cornerback. I don't think Jair Alexander is going to be that guy for me, and the reason being, again, because Charvarius Ward would be really nice to have. Now, there's also a quarterback option that's out there, and this one, who knows if it's true, but the Patriots are toying with the idea of making Joe Milton available via trade, and that there is its own video. That there, you can really dive into that one, and I think we probably will at some point. Joe Milton has shown some promise as an NFL quarterback, somebody who has all the physical gifts that you could ever want, and seemingly throws the ball a little better than AR. A lot of people are actually on the train of, hey, let's go get Joe Milton. I've seen that plenty throughout this offseason already. So it'll be interesting, an interesting conversation to have as we go along. But Joe Milton seemingly potentially available there. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Okay, then another guy on this list, defensive tackle Devon Godchow, spent some time with the Dolphins, then with the Patriots. Patriots giving him permission to seek a trade. Again, another guy, I just don't know how likely it is that we go after a defensive tackle in, for a trade, especially in free agency, sure, but for a trade, I just don't see happening. Now, I have seen, right, CeeLou at Drop Balls Pod on Twitter. He's talked about how we should go get Michael Mayer, and then I've continued to see that throughout the offseason. And then NFL Rumors at NFL Rumors put out something that said the Raiders are having trade talks with teams about tight end Michael Mayer. Of course, this is a case because they now have Brock Bowers. They don't need Michael Mayer. Now, having depth at tight end, especially a couple of guys on a rookie contract, like for a team that's building, you could do a lot worse. A guy that can block the way he can, you could do a lot worse. So it'll be interesting. Hey, do we make a trade for him, still go in the draft and get a guy and have just a bunch of young guys, right? Because my initial thing was, hey, let's go get a veteran in free agency and draft a guy. Maybe we just go trade for Michael Mayer, and then we end up drafting a guy, or maybe we don't draft a guy. Maybe we trade for Michael Mayer and still get a guy in free agency, and then don't worry about tight end in the draft. That's an avenue we could go. There are some good tight ends in this draft, so we'll see what happens. I think getting Michael Mayer, like I can't sit here and say I'm a huge fan of it. I can't. I'm not. I don't think he's a difference maker. I don't know what the infatuation is. Me and Drop Balls Pod, man, me and CeeLou, we do tend to agree on a lot of things. We also tend to disagree on quite a few things too. He lets his voice be heard on Twitter. Not afraid to put his opinion out there, and just like anybody else, man, you're going to agree with some things, you're going to disagree, but I don't see the infatuation with Michael Mayer. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's something that I need to look into. Maybe I need to look deeper into Michael Mayer and who he is as a football player, what he could bring to our team, but I just don't know. He wasn't a difference maker coming in for the Raiders. And then, Brock Bowers came in. Raiders, not like they were really any better. If anything, they were worse than the year before, and Brock Bowers went nuts. So I don't know how much Michael Mayer is really going to matter. We'll see exactly how that pans out. That'll be an interesting decision going forward. Now, somebody that became a free agent is guard Alex Kappa. That's going to be something to look into as we go forward as well. He had a cap hit of $10.2 million. A lot to look into. Ever since we started the free agent conversations, a lot of news has come out. And again, there's a lot that has to happen. January was a crazy month for me. I'm not going to lie. January, beginning of February, a lot going on in my life. Just everybody goes through their own stuff, but we're coming back. I want to get as many videos to you guys as humanly possible. My work schedule is getting in a way that's conducive to me being able to get you guys content. So I'm gonna pump as much out as I possibly can over these next couple of weeks. Got a lot to talk about. Free agency starts on the 12th, so that's going to be next week, I believe, is when free agency starts. Maybe that's just a league year. I'll get correct information to you guys throughout the different videos, but make sure you subscribe, make sure you have notifications on so you get notified when videos do come out on this channel. Of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video, and as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.